Here's one common misunderstanding people have about money.
Rich people are scum. This one bothers me because oftentimes the people who say this are people who would agree with the statement that you should not judge a person based on their socioeconomic class. And yet, in the same breath, they will also say, duh, rich people don't care. Rich people suck. I think part of this myth comes from a deep-seated belief that the person who's saying that, the rich people suck, believes deep down that they themselves will never be rich, nor will any of their friends or family. A reasonable coping mechanism is to otherize the rich, to create an us versus them mindset. And us versus them mindsets are never positive for our society. That is not a mindset that we should ever encourage. And if you agree that it's wrong to judge people based on their socioeconomic class, well, guess what? That works in every direction. The next myth. The only way to make money is by taking advantage of others. That life is a zero-sum game. When one person wins, another person loses. That any money that you make, you've made off the backs of somebody else. That profits are evil, and that by owning a business and making profits, you are necessarily taking advantage of others. This is a myth, it's a limiting belief, it's one that I struggle with. As a business owner, I struggle with guilt about making money. I wonder if I deserve it. I wonder if I'm worthy. I wonder if the other party is receiving adequate value to justify that compensation. And I have to constantly remind myself that this myth that the only way to make money is by taking advantage of others is absolutely false. The best way to make money is through win-win situations. Situations in which both parties are supremely happy with the transaction, where 1 + 1 is greater than 2 and the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Because I specialize in one thing and the other party specializes in another or needs another, and so the exchange that we have benefits us both and we both walk away feeling as though we made a great deal. Every time I put out a real estate income report, or almost every time, I invariably get some comments from people who are like, oh, it's wrong that you're making money off the backs of your tenants. It's absolutely wrong to make profits as a landlord. You should be renting out those properties at cost. Otherwise, you're just taking advantage of your tenants. You're taking advantage of people who are poorer than you. Aren't you just a slumlord? This is why I hate the rich. The thing is, what is the alternative? Is the alternative that we live in a society in which nobody is a renter and nobody is a landlord? If that were the case, we would live in a society in which the only way to move would be by buying and selling a house. And so nobody would have any mobility. Is that what they're suggesting? Are they suggesting that we eradicate renting as an institution, such that nobody could go to college or move to a new city for a new job, or just move to a city just because they want to be in that city, unless they knew somebody there that they could move in with? Is that the suggestion? Is that the proposal? Because that sounds like a far less mobile society. That's not one that I would want to live in. Or if that's not their proposal, then what exactly is their proposal? Is it that we all just stay in hotels? Or are hotels taking advantage of people who need short-term housing in a city? And if hotels are okay, then what's the cutoff? Is it like 30 days? 60 days? You see what I'm getting at here. My tenants and I have an agreement. They need short-term housing in increments of 1 to 2 years. And they want that housing to be renovated and maintained in a good condition. I agree to provide that housing, short-term, 1 to 2 year increments, and I agree to give them the exclusive rights to that housing and to handle all of the maintenance and repairs associated with that housing. In return, they agree to pay me for that, as well as take reasonable care of the property. So we have an agreement, and that agreement works for both of us mutually. My tenants are getting what they need, which is a place to live that they enjoy and that's maintained in good condition. And I'm getting what I need, which is compensation for that. And yet there are so many people who believe that somehow one party is getting taken advantage of in this situation. And that belief is based purely on the fact that profits exist. We live in a world where more money is being created every day. As value is created, as people's needs and wants are met, the supply of money in the world grows. And as individuals, you and me, our role is to participate in that in ways that create win-win situations with everyone with whom we interact, with every transaction that we make, always create win-wins. And so the next time you hear this myth that the only way to make money is by taking advantage of others, ask yourself if that isn't based on the premise that transactions occur in a win-lose cycle rather than a win-win.
This is part of a YouTube series we're doing about myths, misunderstandings, and misconceptions around money. If you'd like to learn more, check out some of these other YouTube videos, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel.